Hi and welcome. This is CMC in Focus, a monthly television program designed to spotlight different departments here at the Community Media Center and offering viewers like you an in-depth look at the activities and achievements across the Community Media Center here on Bridge Street in downtown Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids Community Media Center is focused on promoting and facilitating community engagement and access to the media. We are the stewards of multiple platforms and resources that empower local residents to create, produce, and distribute their own content, including TV programs, radio shows, podcasts, and other assorted digital media. My name is Phil Tower. I'm the station manager at WYCE Community Radio. WYCE is the first featured department here at the Community Media Center for In Focus, and we're really honored to be here on GRTV and share with you the latest goings-on at the radio station. I'm pleased to be in studio with Kurt Basham, Captain Kurt, as he is affectionately known and has been for years on WYCE. Kurt, it's a great honor to be able to sit down and talk with you and go in-depth. Kurt Basham, this is your life.
Are there prizes I get to win at the end of this?
Yeah, we have some leftover WYCE coffee mugs that have been carefully washed for the program, I'm happy to say. And you have approved of the green mug. Yeah. We wanted our viewers to know that Kurt did have a choice in colors. He chose green, and the orb is appropriately shaded in WYCE red. Kurt, a lot of people might know you as Captain Kurt on the air Wednesday nights, 6 to 9. On WYCE. You've been doing that show for how long?
That particular slot, I would have to look and see. It's probably been close to 10 years, probably.
But how long total on the station?
I've been there a lot longer than that. I started in 1993, so doing the math. 31 I'm not a math major, but I believe it was 31 years. So.
You started in 1993. Do you remember where you were when you first heard the radio station and said, I'd like to get involved?
Almost. I remember I was in my car, listening on the car radio, and I, ever since college, kind of trained myself to kind of hang out on the left side of the dial. You know, that's where all the cool little indie stations are. And I just moved up to Grand Rapids the year previous, so I was kind of new and familiarizing myself with the place. Stumbled across 88.1. I don't remember what was playing, but I was interested enough to stick around, and somebody had mentioned that if you are a regular guy or gal and you want to come on into the station and do what we do, anybody can do this. You just got to take a class, and you know what? I started looking into it right away. So I did a couple of shifts with GRTV right out of the gates to kind of get my foot in the door, but yeah, I started with guy named Phil, or Hal Jester.
Oh, great. The great Hal Jester.
You remember Hal, yeah.
I do.
And he had a Tuesday night show, I think it was in like 9 to midnight maybe, and he kind of taught me the ropes, and that's where we started. That was way back in the early 90s. Yeah.
31 years.
Yeah.
How would you compare Captain Kurt shows in the early to mid-90s compared to today in 2024? How have you evolved musically?
I was a lot less adventurous, I think, back then. I was glommed onto the few, you know, I wouldn't say few, but I glommed onto the artists and the albums that I knew and that I knew I liked. And so I'd pick a lot of them week to week. And now I don't do that, right? I play the same song, you know, maybe once a year. I play, you know, you got to mix it up constantly on our station, as you know. So yeah, it's a lot different. It's a lot more widely ranged now. It's all over the place, just like I like it. A little random, a little chaos is always fun.
Kurt, it's notable that we are here in the fall of 2024. We are just around the corner from another annual new programmer training, and this is where we do I like to call it a casting call, where we use the power of the radio station and social media to tell folks we're looking for new on-air hosts, and we try to be as diverse as possible. We want people of all different ages, but especially people who may be curious, may be interested in learning more about the radio station, and really have a great appreciation for the radio station and the mission, the diversity of the format, what would you tell someone who may be looking with great aspiration and admiration at what you've done over 31 years and say, I want to do what this guy does? What would you tell someone who has an interest in joining WYCE?
If you love music, and why would you be here if you did not love music? We have such a wide variety. If you are a blues guy, we have blues, but guess what? We've got 400,000 other albums and songs that you can pick. You know, it's just like you're going to start with the one thing that you're most familiar with, maybe, but you're going to branch out and you're going to experiment. I was jazz averse for the longest time. I was like, I know nothing about jazz. You know, and so that was like the last genre that we play that I was kind of dipping my toe into the most. And so it took me a while to get there, but eventually you get there, and you learn to appreciate across every spectrum of all the spectrum of music. And so if you like music and you like hanging out in a room and talking to yourself, actually you're talking to many other people, but right. You just can't see them. Yeah, come on down. It's not. It might sound scary at first, but it's really not.
Before we run out of time, what is the secret for Captain Kurt's quirkiness? The delightful,
how dare you? Am I
unpredictable
quirky?
quirkiness.
Okay.
What is on display on your social media feed, on the air, through your music selection, your hosting style? What is the secret sauce there, Kurt?
You shouldn't take yourself very seriously. Don't be afraid to say the dumb thing, because, yeah, just do it. You'll be okay. Yeah, get out of your comfort zone when it comes to, don't play the same songs and don't play the same artists, and try new things, and you'll be okay. Just try that new thing. You're going to like it. Don't steal my cover song show idea.
Yeah, we will not do that.
That's trademark.
Kurt,
no, not really.
It's been a real honor having you on our inaugural edition of In Focus, WYCE, leading it off. Kurt Basham, Captain Kurt, Wednesday night, 6 to 9 p.m. on WYCE. Stick around. We're going to check in with WYCE Music and Program Director Chris Cranick. He's coming up next here on In Focus on GRTV. Right, we're going to recap. Okay, can we just go back a little bit in the teleprompter, please, guys?
Trip to musical discovery begins at WYCE.org.
Okay. And we're back here with In Focus on GRTV, a service of the Community Media Center, and we are up first. We being WYCE, one of the many departments here at the Community Media Center located on Bridge Street in downtown Grand Rapids, which is collectively known, this space, as the Community Media Center. I'm Station Manager Phil Tower from WYCE Community Radio. You can check us out at WYCE.org. In our next segment, we're going to do a kind of a recap. Some of our summer events, and it's been another, may I say, Chris Cranick, Boffo year in new music. Chris Cranick, our program and music director here at WYCE. You are aptly displaying But let's go back. I know you and your band have had a busy year, but talk about WYCE. We just wrapped up a whole bunch of live music and events over the summer. What do you think?
Yeah. There was a lot of action here at the station, myself, all around Grand Rapids, really. We had another great season over at Frederick Meyer Gardens with the Tuesday Evening Music Club. We were there every Tuesday between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Had a lot of really cool variety of acts there. This was the first year that we didn't necessarily have a hand in booking those acts. Ralston Bulls decided to take a step back, which I can appreciate and respect. But still a lot of YCE artists during that series. Another kind of staple in our community here, Graham on the Green, had another great season there. We had the Canola Band, Patty Pershela and the Mayhaps, the wonderful Molly, and of course the Gasoline Gypsies. Had a nice mix of genres as well as local, regional, and national acts coming through for that series. We did that the last 2 Thursdays of July and the first 2 Thursdays of August, just 4 weeks in a row. While still having those events going on, we teamed up with City Built Brewing for the first time to help them put together their Friday Night Live series, which they've done before, but they wanted to kind of get a little helping hand. So we did that. It was 3 different Fridays. I think it was in June, July, and August. We did one each. And that one we stuck all local artists with that one because, Graham on the Green is a little bit of variety. And again, we kind of touched on all of the genres that we have here at the station. We had kind of a folk and Americana night with Austin Benzing and Deerfield Run. We had a world and Latin night with Cabildo and La Fieria del Ritmo. And then we wrapped things up with just some straightforward kind of rock and pop with Why Not and 10 Peso Version. And again, within all of these varying nights of the week, we still found some time to team up with our friends over at Sullivan Field, fans of Valley Field. We did a handful of events with them as well. It was, as you said, Boffo. It was absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it was a busy summer, and WYCE is partnering with all of these great community events. We should note that all of them, with the exception of the Fans of Valley Field events, were free events. We're really proud, thanks to the Grand Rapids Art Museum, to have the Graham on the Green concerts be free of charge. Tuesday Evening Music Club concerts are no charge for Frederick Meyer Gardens members. And of course, City Built Brewing was free and open to the public at a time where a lot of shows, Chris, could be very cost prohibitive. It's good to have free music. Let's talk about, in your role as music director at WYCE, talk about the new music. We received local music for the library. Every year it seems like is busy in terms of artists releasing new music. They've got to be putting new stuff out to making sure their listeners know that they're there. What are some of the albums and artists that are getting a lot of attention, including spins over the airwaves of WYCE?
Yeah, so you mentioned local, so we can start there. I think one of the biggest releases of this year so far here in West Michigan would be Jordan Hamilton. He dropped his new record, Project Freedom, had an amazing release tour for that. Even had a record vinyl LP release show at the Midtown with our friends over there. And yeah, that album is just so experimental, so soulful. It touches on so many different vibes and emotions. I mean, he's the cellist in West Michigan. I think I can say that pretty confidently. And more recently, the Cranick just dropped their new album. That's been a long time coming. It's been quite a few years since they did a proper studio album, and they had a sold-out show over the Intersection to celebrate that. Looking at kind of the more regional and national side of things, the most spun record of the year by a long shot is Bella Brown and the Jealous Lovers, their Soul Clap release. I'm guilty of playing it. I'm sure Kurt's played it. Everybody's been playing it. Some of the other top records, Black Pumas, Chronicles of a Diamond, Lake Street Dive, Good Together. They're going to be playing over at GLC Live on Monday. Just figured I'd throw that in there. Crombin, A La Sala, which is a live album. Waxahachie, Tiger's Blood. Sleater Kinney with Little Rope. And then I figured, just for the heck of it, I'd throw in some of my picks, kind of some records that maybe are overlooked. Chief Keegan, amazing funk group out of Ireland, actually. They reached out to us through Instagram. We're like, hey, we just got hip to the station, figured you might enjoy our stuff. The album's called The Piles High Club. It is absolutely YCE.
Love it.
John Smith, very unassuming name, but he has an incredible record out called The Living Kind, another UK artist. A little more kind of mellow album, but an absolute vibe. He's an incredible guitarist, uses alternate tunings, and he's got an incredible voice. It's kind of one of those people you see his face and you're like, that's not what it should sound like. The Red Clay Strays dropped a new record, Made by These Moments. I got hip to their last record that dropped last year. Incredible, incredible group. Got to see them at the non-convention in Philly earlier this year. Fantastic. Going in the world route, Glass Beams has a EP out called Mahal. Fantastic. And then I got to give a shout out to the Redcoats. They were one of those bands that I did not hear of before, much like Chief Keegan. They have a new Redcoats 2 album out, so it's their second self-titled proggy rock jazz fusion. It's incredible. I could go on, but
I could just listen to you describe the types of music and subgenres. And real quickly, follow WYCE on social media. If you're wondering about a lot of these bands you may not be familiar with, you should familiarize yourself with them. Chris Cranick, WYCE Music and Program Director, thanks for updating us on a very busy year so far. Coming up, our Operations Manager, Scott Winters, and I will talk to you about a busy fall and end of year ahead for WYCE on In Focus.
WYCE is West Michigan's only community radio station that is listener-supported and volunteer-powered. WYCE uses local voices to help listeners discover and celebrate different services, cultures, and events. What I really like about programming music in WYCE is I get to not only interact with listeners and local musicians, but I get to put together a musical collage every week and give it away to the universe. As a volunteer programmer, you get the training on how to use equipment, how to access music from the library, and how to put together a great show that showcases local and national artists and still has your creativity included.
Welcome back to In Focus, coming to you live here from the Community Media Center in downtown Grand Rapids. We are here on GRTV, one of the departments within the Community Media Center, And we are proud to be WYCE, the community radio station located here at 711 Bridge Street on the Community Media Center. In fact, we've been in this building for 27 years. You're welcome to stop by. In Focus, we'll be spotlighting each of the different departments throughout the Community Media Center. And WYCE is the guinea pig test department for the pilot kickoff of this program. We're pleased to be back in studio. I am station manager Phil Tower with WYCE Community Radio, and proud to be with my operations manager and traffic manager, Scott Winters, as we are here in a very busy time of year. Chris just profiled a busy summer, Scott, but we've got a fun drive coming up. We've got a lot of station events, and we've got a station event tonight as we're actually live on GRTV this Thursday, September 19th.
Yeah, if you are watching us live later tonight from 5:30 to 7:30 down at Broadleaf Brewing, which is just down the street from us here, their West Side location, we're going to have a WYCE night. So you can stop out. It's kind of the kickoff for our fun drive, which is actually, like Phil said, next week. But it gives you a chance to come down. We'll have some merchandise down there. We'll also have an opportunity for you to make donations if you want to do that. And I'm looking forward to the fact that I did not realize that the Broadleaf had both alcoholic and non-alcoholic milkshakes. I've never had an alcoholic milkshake.
Neither have I.
Tonight might be the night.
Tonight might be the night.
So you can stop out tonight if you're watching this live. We'll be down there from 5:30 to 7:30 on Thursday, September 19th. Coming up, some of the other things that are on our docket for the rest of the year is every Sunday we have World Music on the West Side, and that happens also right down here just down the street from us at Kuster Brauhaus and Brewhouse, and you can join us down there. They've got a variety of different music. Every weekend they spotlight a different type of music, whether it's jazz or Irish or German music, and we try to be at as many of those as we possibly can. And then next week, it's the big fund drive.
Yes,
we are
indeed.
looking for $40,000 in donations from you, and you're going to help keep us on the air. We get all of our funding from private donations and underwriting, so your dollars that you send us are very important. They keep us on the air, so when you do tune into 88.1 FM or you go to our app or through our streaming, that you'll actually hear something. And we're going to focus on music made in Michigan. There are so many artists that have come from not only West Michigan, but Michigan as the state, and it's just, we're going to give you a chance next week to hear some of those as we spotlight some of those artists.
Yeah, I also want to mention, too, we've got some donors who have stepped up ahead of the fund drive with some matching dollars. They've generously donated money that will, throughout the fund drive next week, give you a chance to actually double your donation. So that's a really big deal. And you and Sabrina and Chris have been working behind the scenes with our team to put together some great dinner and a show packages. These are concerts throughout West Michigan, some in Kalamazoo, some here in Grand Rapids, the majority of them here in Grand Rapids, paired up with a local restaurant gift card. So a really cool way to enjoy a night in the town at no charge with your donation to WYCE.
And starting tomorrow, if you go to WYCE.org, our website, you'll be able to peruse and look through those dinner and show packages that we have. You won't be able to actually start bidding on or donating to get those until Monday at 7 a.m. when the fund drive kicks off, but you'll be able to at least see what they are and kind of plan ahead on what you want to call in and donate for to get. After fund drive coming up on Saturday, September 8th, we've got the big chili cook-off over at Sullivan Field. The Friends of Valley Field are putting that on, and that's always a great time. They've got, I think, how many, 40 different teams?
Yeah, 40
chili?
different teams, and it is going to be another great time, well attended. You were there last year, and that is actually the Saturday after our fund drive wraps up, so it'd be a great way to cap off another busy week and wrap up September.
And then looking towards the end of October, you heard Kurt talking to Phil about how he got involved as a programmer here at WYCE. We're going to have a new programmer training. And if you are interested in maybe someday being a programmer and being one of our on-air radio hosts, just go to our website, WYCE.org, and go under the programming tab. And down at the bottom, it'll say, be a programmer, and you fill out the application. And we go through the applications just to make sure that the people that go through our training are good fits for the station, people that know the station, know the music, know what our theme or theory behind the radio station is and how the music works. So that's coming up on October 22nd. And then This is going to be very cool. Coming up November 1st through November 8th, it's a Friday through a Friday, we are going to have a online auction. And this is, we did one of these earlier in the summer, and the things that we had up for auction were tickets to the various festivals around the West Michigan area. Well, coming up in November, the first week of November, we're going to give you a chance to bid on some very cool online experiences. Now, these are things you don't normally get a chance to do, but we're going to reach out to some of the different businesses and organizations around the West Michigan area and get you behind the scenes and see things that you normally wouldn't have a chance to do. So you'll have a chance to bid on those online, and we'll be able to bring that to you for a week, and then we'll close that down at noon on Friday, the 8th of November.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And by the way, if you are involved with a business or organization that would like to talk with us about a unique experience that you'd be willing to donate to WYCE, these could be behind-the-scenes tours at your place of business. Some of the things we're looking at are behind-the-scenes brewery tours and tastings, things that normally, as Scott said, you wouldn't have a chance to do. And, of course, we still have stuff coming up in late November and December, right?
We do, and of course, one of the big things that we do every year at the Bob is Bubble Bash. That's coming up on Thursday, December 5th. It'll be just after Thanksgiving, the week after Thanksgiving, and that's always a great time. People can come out and sample the different wines, and we also sell raffle tickets. And the interesting thing about the raffle tickets is we have our programmers going around and selling raffle tickets. Well, we've got people like Shelby who has a very short arm, and then we have Tall Isaac who has a very long arm, and we sell the raffle tickets by arm's length. So it's interesting to see the two of those two go around and sell tickets because everybody wants the Tall Isaac arm length to buy those raffle tickets.
But Shelby was very competitive.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. So mark that on your calendar for Thursday, December 5th. We have another fund drive coming up, the 12 Gifts of Christmas fund drive, which is Monday, December 16th. That kicks off. And this is always a great time to donate to WYCE because we have a bunch of different music packages. We'll have vinyl packages and concerts and all kinds of very cool things. And then after the first of the year, we continue with our busy schedule. And Jammies 25, a quarter of a century of Jammies, is going to be at the intersection on Friday, February 28th. So it's the very last day of February. We hope you can join us for that as well.
Yeah, that's an important date to put on your calendar, Friday, February 28th. And Scott knows, as we know internally at WYCE, we're once again going to be offering VIP tickets for the Jammies. We have a special VIP lounge that was very popular at this year's Jammy Awards, and that is going to be back. Your opportunity to get those tickets, and they go very quickly, will be in early December, so make sure you are tuned into WYCE for that opportunity. Thank you, Scott Winters.
Sure.
It's been a busy fall so far, and we've got a lot more coming up. Don't forget to join us tonight in about an hour at Broadleaf Brewery West Side, 443 Bridge Street Northwest. If you're watching this live on Thursday, September 19th, we'd love to see you there. And we also remind you, of course, you can tune in WYCE over your traditional broadcast radio. If you actually own one of those, congratulations to you. 88.1 FM. You can also listen to us online at WYCE.org. And this piece of wonderful equipment, your smartphone, we have a free app for Android users, for Google phone users, and of course for iPhone users. Get it in the App Store. And your smart speaker, Google or Amazon smart speaker, you can listen to us that way as well. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to have you follow us on social media. And most importantly, thank you for tuning in to this edition of In Focus and the Spotlight this month on WYCE Community Radio. I'm Station Manager Phil Tower for this edition of In Focus presented by the Community Media Center here on GRTV. Thank you so much for tuning in.